All right, ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, happy Monday. Sorry I'm not there with you all. I'm excited to see you all tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed your weekend. If you watched the Super Bowl, you enjoyed it. Maybe the halftime show or the commercials. Yeah, all right, let's get our week going. We're definitely into the course now. We're actually almost done with the first unit. So hopefully you are getting a feel for the pace of the course. I haven't added a lot of the ongoing assignments to your workload yet. We've had some weird schedules, so I keep pushing those off. But there are some ongoing assignments that will be due above and beyond just the unit work that we're doing. All right, so first of all, you are taking the Vocab and Keystone quiz. I've told the sub that you're welcome to have maybe 2 minutes to look over the words, and then she will give you the access code to take the quiz. Make sure that you don't have any notes up on your computer. I get the internet report, so make sure that is all closed out. So go ahead and you can pause the video, or if you've already taken it, just keep on going. Good luck on the quiz. All right, up next, open up the Nearpod to look at successful writing habits. I'll go through this with you. You can click through this at your own speed, and you can pause me at any time. I'll tell you to pause me throughout to do the different assignments. All right, so these 5 steps are all the most important elements of successful writing. I am going off of the Unit 1 notes that you see here. Everything that you need is in these 5 steps as well. So the first step of successful writing is understanding the directions or the prompt, whatever is being asked of you. That's the first step for good writing. All right, so here's some information about understanding prompts, how to analyze it, questions that you should ask. What's the purpose of it? What information do I need? What details does it suggest? Who's the audience? What the format is. Your first essay and your second essay are both just expository or informational essays. So that's all you need to think about right now. So there's some general information about that. All right, so this particular essay, I already talked to you about the directions on Friday. Here they are again. You're writing a pledge of main goals that you have that you want to achieve before the end of this year and beyond, including how to achieve those goals and why they're important to you. You need a personal goal, a short-term academic goal, and a long-term academic goal or professional goal. All of your goals should draw upon in some way the 7 habits of highly effective teens. That's why you can use your notes, and that's why I urged you all to include quotes with page numbers in your presentations for people to copy down. Okay, how I'm grading you. Your introduction, at least 5 sentences, moves from the general, once you're hooked, to the specific, ending in your thesis. That's 15 points. It introduces the main ideas. Each of your body paragraphs should start with a topic sentence, have supporting ideas, and then end with why that topic matters. At least 5 sentences each. That's 10 points per paragraph. And then your conclusion is 15 points. You revisit your main points in a new way, now that your reader has a new understanding of these goals. And then you go more broad to conclude about goals in general and why goals in general are important. That's 15 points for a total of 60 points. You'll see all of your essays are worth that same amount. So this is your first writing grade officially. That's 30% of your total grade. So whatever percentage you get on this is going to be 30% of your grade. All right. So you can pause me. I have an activity for you in the Nearpod. I want you to underline or circle or highlight the 3 kinds of goals that you must come up with. So you can, maybe you can't. Oh yes, you can. The blue arrow on the left-hand side, you can move the directions out of the way. And you know how to change your highlighting and stuff. All right, go ahead and choose the 3 goals and then submit them. Okay, so once you understand what's expected of you, you understand the directions, the next step is to write your thesis. That is the one sentence main idea for your whole essay. It's your main argument, your main points, the entire main idea. So here is a good way to think about thesis statements. It's sort of like a math equation, all the things that you need, all the components that you need. I have some examples, and then I'll have you work on your own thesis. So you need a topic, what your essay is about. You need a claim about the topic, what you're trying to say about that idea, and then how you're going to support the claim, which is your 3 points, and they should go in order of strong to stronger to strongest. These 3 points will correspond with your 3 body paragraphs, so they should be in the same order in your thesis as they are in your body paragraphs. So all of that together is your full and final thesis. For example, Ernest Hemingway's stories, it's a topic. They helped create a new prose style, like the claim, that's what this person's trying to say about his stories, and then there's a list of 3 things. So he employed extensive dialogue, he used shorter sentences, and he used strong Anglo-Saxon words. So those would be the 3 body paragraph ideas. Hold on, let me check something. Alright, same idea down below. Even with the best planning, however, tent camping can be an extremely frustrating experience due to uncontrolled factors such as bad weather, wildlife encounters, and equipment failures. See if you can spot the topic. Tent camping, good. And then what's this person trying to say about tent camping? What's their claim? They're saying that it can be extremely frustrating. And then how are they going to prove that? Well, there are 3 points. And you can have more than 3 or less than 3, but I'm just getting you into the habit of having points. Alright, the 3 are uncontrolled factors such as, number 1, bad weather, number 2, wildlife encounters, and number 3, equipment failures. So those are 2 good thesis statements. Alright, so I want you to work on your own thesis now. So, hold on, let me see if I have a slide for you to do that. Yes, okay. So, I want you to write your thesis there. Okay, so let's go back. Alright, so if it helps you to use this document, if you go up to File, make a copy, right now, you can do this. Then you have your own version that you can play around with. Okay, so you all have the same topic. For your next 2 essays, everyone in here is going to have a different topic. But I chose the topic for you now, which is goals. Your claim, they'll be similar, but you don't all need the same one. So you're trying to say something along the lines of that you have goals you want to achieve. You want to achieve these goals. You want to do well on them. You want to make them a priority. You want to make them a habit. You think that they will help you be more successful. You think they'll help you be happy. Whatever it is that the point you're trying to make, the claim you're trying to make about goals, write that here. Okay, so I'll write an example, but you can come up with your own. Alright, so you have some sort of a claim, and I'll give you a minute to work on your own. And then your main points, what do you think these are going to be? Yeah, your specific goals. Okay, so I'm going to just put them in order that I listed them in the prompt. So the first one is a personal goal, so you have to come up with your own personal goal. But let's say that mine is to be more organized in my house. Then your second goal is a short-term academic goal, something that you can achieve this year. Maybe mine is to, well, this doesn't really apply to you, but personalize my lessons. And then the last one is a long-term academic goal, something that takes you more than this year to achieve, such as past high school, CTC, other degree user training, a career, something like that. Alright, so maybe mine is to earn my PhD, something I'm working towards, possibly. Alright, so that's all the parts of your thesis. Now you have to put it all together into one sentence. So for example, I might say the goals that will help me be, that will most help me be motivated to be organized. Alright, so I put it all together into one sentence. So what I want you to do right now, you can pause me. I told you you can make a copy of this document. Okay, but come up with, your topic is goals, I'm telling you that. Come up with what your claim is about that topic, and then what your points will be, what your 3 goals are, your personal, your short-term academic, and your long-term. Alright, so come up with all of those pieces, and then when you're ready to play again, I'll have you post it here in this Nearpod. But make sure you have it somewhere so that you can use it to write your essay. Alright, so go ahead and work on writing your thesis now. Go ahead and pause me. Alright, once you have your thesis, you have it saved somewhere in a Google Doc or in a Word doc, wherever you wrote out that one sentence main idea, go ahead and copy it, paste here. It should have something about goals, something about you wanting to achieve them, and then you list the 3 goals. So go ahead and put them here and click submit. Once you've done that, you can go back to this video. Okay, so now that you have your thesis, you understand the directions, you're ready to start outlining your essay. So I need to talk to you about the parts of an essay in order to have you do this, but this is an important piece. A lot of people skip step 3 and go right to write your essay, and then they're not sure what to write because they don't really know what all the pieces are. So I would urge you to start with an outline. Alright, so here's a visual representation of what an essay looks like in terms of like shapes. So your first paragraph we know is called the introduction. You start with a hook. It's a 1 sentence. It's the first sentence that gets your reader interested into what you're saying. Let me open up, hold on, I want to find my Unit 1 notes. Did I give them to you? Oh. Yeah, that's good. MLA Format. Alright, hold on. Alright, so let me go generally and then the next slide is more specific. Okay, so introduction, you start with a hook to get your reader interested. I call the next part tie-in, but it's just most of the introduction where you are introducing your topics in general. So you're not going to dive right into your goals here. You're going to introduce goals or habits or plans, deadlines, stuff like that in general. Then you end your introduction with your actual thesis. It's very specific as opposed to the rest of the introduction. Alright, your next 3 paragraphs all have the same setup. They're about different topics, however. So they are rectangles because they don't get more or less specific. They're just about one thing. Alright, so you start with the topic sentence. You transition from the idea of the paragraph before to the idea of this paragraph, and you say what the topic of it is and how it relates to your main idea. In this case, goals that you want to achieve. Then most of the body paragraph is going to be supporting ideas or details. So this is where you will write how you will achieve this goal, how it will help you, stuff like that, and then you'll also include 7 habits. Paraphrase or quotes from 7 habits. You'll end with what I call a so what sentence or a closing sentence or a concluding sentence, but it specifically says why that topic matters, why it is important. It answers the question, so what? So if your goal here is to be more organized around your house, like one of my goals is, I would write at the end of the sentence, after I have talked about the ways that I can be more organized, how I'm going to try to remember it, how I'm going to try to make it a habit. Maybe I'll use the prioritize. What's that one called? Put first things first, habit number 3 in that one. I'll have a quote from Covey about it and talk about how I can relate that to my own life. And then I'll end with a sentence about how being more organized is going to make my life less stressful. Once I get organized, I'll waste less time looking for things or feeling frustrated. Okay. Then the next 2 are the same deal. So transition into a new topic sentence. So I would transition between the idea of organizing my life to maybe I would use the idea of like another goal that I have is to organize my lesson plans around being more personal for students. So that says the topic of the next paragraph. It transitions and it relates it to my main idea of the whole essay, which is about achieving goals. Okay, then you have more supporting ideas, what the goal is, how to do it, and you end with why it matters. Same deal, transition, next goal, supporting ideas, 7 habits ideas, why it matters. Okay, and then the last one, your conclusion. Notice it's the mirror image of the introduction. So your introduction is an upside down triangle. It starts broad and then it works to become more specific. Your conclusion starts specific. So you revisit your thesis first. You revisit your main argument and points first, your main idea. In a new way. You're not copying and pasting because your reader understands your goals now in a completely different way than how your reader understood them in the introduction. So you revisit them in a new way with new understanding, and then you start to go more broad about goals in general, why they matter, why they're important, what they do for people, and you end with what I call a super so what, which is why the entire essay matters, the topic of the entire essay. Okay, so that is where you are headed. You don't need to write down all of that right this second, but you should start filling in some things. So here is an MLA Format template. I also have one linked in the notes. Yeah, the essay structure is just what I went over. Now, MLA Format template with outline, that's what I have in the Nearpod right now. All right, so if you're thinking about using Google Docs, which I like to do, I would go right now to File, make a copy. You might want to call it Personal Pledge or something to help you remember what it is. Save it to your English 9 folder in Google Drive. Actually, let me make a copy of it. Alright, so you can pause the video, make a copy. Call it Personal Pledge. Now, here's the MLA format. I already filled it in for you, so you don't have to do it from scratch. But you have your name up here in the header is your last name and a page number. If you're ever doing this from scratch, you have to go to Insert, Page Number on the top right, and then do your last name in a space. And this is Times New Roman, size 12. Then the heading is here. It's your name, your teacher's name, your class, the date that it's due, which I think this is due on February 11th. The title, if you don't want to start with the title, some people get frustrated with titles, that's fine. It's basically the topic of your particular essay. So you're not saying pledge, not goals, my goals, something about your particular essay. Notice that all of this is Times New Roman, size 12. It should already be that way. Anyway, it's double spaced and it doesn't have an extra space after paragraphs. If you see the words remove space after paragraph, please remove it. You don't want to have extra spaces. All right, so you already wrote your thesis. Okay, that's what I have here. So if you want to keep my outline in here, you can, let me find my thesis that I wrote. Where is it? You can delete that and paste your actual thesis here. So I have my first sentence done. Maybe then I want to go down to the first topic sentence, main idea of the paragraph, introduces it, connects it to your overall idea. So maybe I want to say here, the first goal I have is to be more organized around my house. And then maybe I want to skip down to my next goal. So you copy these each time. Another goal I have is to personalize my lesson plans. And I would transition, as I'm organizing my house, I can also learn how to organize my lesson plans to be more personal, for example. Okay, so you don't have to go in chronological order is my point. You can kind of pick and choose as you go. The format is just to remind you about the formatting. When you're ready to go back into your hook, it's the first sentence of your essay. It can be a question, a quote. If you're quoting something other than 7 habits, you have to make a new works cited entry though. Just a general statement. It could be a short story. It should be broad, but it begins to introduce your topic. All right, and then most of your introduction, you are just introducing your ideas. You can start to introduce goals. You can start to introduce your goals. But each sentence should get a little bit more specific, ending with the thesis, which we already have. All right, so you can work on that. And then when you get into the body paragraphs, you're going to spend most of your time adding support. So this is where you will write about how to become organized, in my case, the steps to do it, everything I talked to you about. And then you'll start to add in where you're going to use your 7 quotes and ideas from the 7 habits, including page numbers. Okay, so maybe I'll pause you there because you're probably not going to get that much further, and I already have the works cited for you. So hopefully you have made a copy of this and you can start plugging in some things. This will take you probably until the end of class. Let me see if there's anything else I need from you in the Nearpod. The next step of writing the essay, which you'll get to tomorrow, is writing it all out into sentence form. So maybe in your outline, you just have topics. You say earning a PhD or whatever. I have another video that's linked here in the Nearpod where I go over writing more specifics about writing the essay, formatting and concluding. So you can pause me and listen to me in another way. Here's the examples again from that we looked at on Friday. So if you want to see how other people have done all of these things. When you have a good outline, you'll make sure that you have support, which we'll talk more about tomorrow. But it's how to have a quote in a sentence. You still need a subject and a verb, but you have quotation marks and then the page number. Something along those lines. So you can use any of the 7 habits to talk about your goals. You should have the notes on them. All right, I'm going to pause there because you're not going to get this far, I doubt. So just work on outlining and writing your essay using that template that I gave you. Okay, so go ahead and do that. You can email me. I probably won't email you back today, but I'll look at it tonight and tomorrow morning and see how I can help you. All right, have a great day, and I will see you guys soon.